Imagine a world where reading and seeing clearly are privileges only for the young and the fortunate. That world changed not in a university lab, but in the workshop of an unknown artisan in late 13th century Italy. Eyeglasses, one of the most transformative inventions in human history, were not the product of a celebrated scientist or a royal commission. They emerged from the quiet, uncredited hands of a craftsman whose name history has forgotten. The technology was the convex lens, ground from glass to magnify text for aging eyes. But the earliest written record we have isn't a proud announcement, it's a complaint. In 1289, a friar named Giordano da Pisa delivered a sermon in Florence. He spoke of the newly invented spectacle, saying, "I have seen the man who first made it, and I have spoken with him." But his tone was not celebratory. He lamented that the inventor, whoever he was, refused to share the technique. The friar grumbled that the secret died with the artisan, or nearly so. Why keep such a miraculous aid a secret? Perhaps for profit. A master craftsman guarding his trade was common practice, but this was a device that could change lives, not just line a purse. The friar's sermon tells us the inventor was a man and that Giordano had met him. That's all we know. No name, no workshop, no hometown, just a brief, exasperated mention in a religious text. This 1289 record predates the next major milestone by over 60 years. The device itself may have been invented even earlier, perhaps a decade or two before that sermon, but no one wrote it down. The first artistic depiction of eyeglasses wouldn't appear until 1352. It's a fresco in a chapel in Treviso, Italy, painted by Tommaso da Modena. In the painting, a cardinal named Hugh of Saint-Cher is shown studying a manuscript, and perched on his nose are something remarkable, a pair of riveted spectacles, the earliest known image of glasses. This depiction would spark a century-long controversy, not about the art, but about the very legitimacy of the device. Was it a gift from God or a trick of the devil? For some, the idea that a simple piece of glass could restore vision seemed unnatural. It altered the perception of reality. Who could trust their eyes if a lens could change what they saw? Critics argued that wearing glasses was a form of deception. If nature intended us to see poorly, wasn't it arrogant to correct it with an artificial aid? This debate was not idle theological musing. It had practical consequences. Some scholars refused to use glasses, fearing they might be instruments of demonic manipulation. Yet the spread of the invention was unstoppable. From Italy, the technology moved into Germany, France, and beyond, carried by word of mouth and by the sheer utility of seeing clearly. The secret, despite the friar's complaint, did not die. By the early 1300s, guilds in Venice were producing lenses and frames, eventually turning eyeglasses into a skilled trade. The invention's popularity likely exploded as literacy grew and the demand for reading among the elderly clergy and scholars increased. The old eyes that governed the church and law needed help. Yet even as glasses became common, the mystery of their origin remained. A 1317 mention in a Venetian codex praised the invention but still gave no inventor's name. The anonymity of the inventor became a kind of legend. In some later texts, the invention was wrongly attributed to Salvino degli Armati of Florence, but the evidence points away from him. The claim was a later fabrication. Today, we take corrective lenses for granted, but consider the leap of imagination it required to realize that a piece of curved glass could reshape light, correct vision, and restore a person's ability to read. The debate over whether glasses were demonic or divine faded as the practical benefits won out. But it reminds us that new technology often disrupts our understanding of what is natural. The true inventor remains unknown, a ghost in history, but their legacy is on the faces of billions. Every pair of spectacles is a quiet tribute to that nameless artisan who, despite the complaints of a friar, changed the world. Subscribe for more stories like this.